Hello everyone, my name is Dan, and today guys I have another video for you today, and we're with Fergus and we have some information for you and the promised gameplay what we were going to bring for each character of the new DLC, the Rebellion DLC for Mass Effect 3. So to start it off we have the Vorcha soldier, so let's get into this and we're going to be showing you a lot about it. We're going to be showing you all the powers, the best techniques to use the Vorcha soldier and like sort of his capabilities, what he's able to do. So let's get into the video. The first power that we do actually have for the Vorcha soldier is the Bloodlust ability. Now we did talk about this before and we were kind of right in the description of it. Me and Fergus did actually say that it was going to be kind of similar to the Krogan Rage ability, and it is very similar. However, the only difference is with the Krogan Rage you have to keep building up the ability, you have to keep attacking, and you to actually activate Rage. To simply activate Bloodlust for the Vorcha, all you have to do is simply push triangle for the PS3 or Y for the Xbox, and that activates Bloodlust, putting it on the lowest ability. Now this is the description that we do get given with Bloodlust. It says, the Vorcha files into a frenzy, increasing movement speed, health regeneration and melee damage. Each kill intensifies these effects and they can stack up into 3 times. Additional stacks last for shorter time. It slows the power usage of other powers, which we will get to in a second, and it lasts until it's deactivated. Now that is amazing compared to the Krogan Rage, because you only had a certain amount of time for Krogan Rage. I believe it was 30 seconds, and now with the Vorcha Soldier you can keep this Bloodlust ability on until you deactivate it. Now I would suggest to always keep this on, because I don't know who would whoever would be a Vorcha Soldier and not have this on. It's a perfect power that really does increase the Vorcha's chances of doing well on the battlefield.
The next power we've got is the Flamer ability, which is a really cool power. We've never seen anything like this before on any other characters, but for the Vorcha it's really good, as it's like a rushing character. You get really close. When they start to surround you, you can switch this on and you sort of use your Omni tool as a flamethrower. It slows your movement down by about 20%, but it's really good. You can just aim against people and just destroy them all. And it's also really good against shields, so this just proves again that this is a really good character to rush in with and just kill everyone. The last power I've got for the Vorcha Soldier is Carnage, which we have seen before on characters like the Krogan Soldier. It's a lot like Concussion Shot, but on fire and I'd say more explosive. But the other two are much better to upgrade for the Vorcha Soldier, where Bloodlust and Flamer are much more powerful. But if you like Carnage, then upgrade it as much as you want.
So let's get into the upgrade side of the Vorcha Soldier's Bloodlust ability. The best thing I can give you here, guys, is a really quick tip. So for the first 3 ranks, this is what you should do. Rank 1 is obviously the first one, which gets you the power itself. Rank 2 is recharge speed, increasing your recharge speed, of course. Rank 3 is health regeneration. So let's get into rank 4. You can either get melee damage, which increases your melee damage by each stack by 10%, or health regeneration, which increases the stack of your increases how fast your health regenerates by 50% each stack. So I really would suggest going for the health regeneration, guys, because your character is going to be running in there so much. It's going to be so useful when you're just running around and your health just pops up. You'll see in the gameplay here how fast your health goes up. It literally goes in like a millisecond. Your health just pops back up, and it's really useful when you're getting into the fight. The melee itself is perfectly fine from what it is without any upgrades, so I would suggest just going for the health generation on that side. So for rank 5, again, we have power damage or weapon damage. I would suggest going for the weapon damage. The reason is this, because you would be equipping a shotgun, which we will talk about later, but equipping a shotgun with the weapon damage will really benefit it, and you can, once you strike someone with the melee and your health is just going up really loads and they have a little bit of health left, you can quickly load out the shotgun, just blast them in the face, and that kills them within seconds, and that's the best combo, which we will talk about later as well. And finally for rank 6, you either have health regeneration or movement or melee. Now the movement or melee increases your movement speed by a bonus 5%, and the melee increases your melee damage bonus by 10%, or the health regeneration increases your health regeneration of each stack by an additional 100%. Now trust me, guys, as I said earlier, you'll see in the gameplay how fast my health just keeps popping up. It's literally a millisecond, and that is absolutely vital for a rushing class. It will help you out so much. Believe me, when you try it, when you're running around, you'll really see the difference when your health just completely pops up, and it really does mean a lot. So that would really help you out, guys, so make sure you do that with this sort of Bloodlust side. So yeah, let's get back into the next power.
Alright, the next power we're going to be talking about is Flamer, and the best things to do in this. The first 3 ranks you automatically have to do, so just put those up straight away. And once you get to rank 4, there's 2 options. We have damage by 30% or reach by 50%. And you really want to go for reach, because you're just repelling enemies at this point. The range is about 7.5 meters, which is really good, and as a flamethrower, the reach isn't that great as it is. So yeah, just do reach by 50%. Next one is rank 5. There's another 2 options: damage by 40%, which makes up for the first damage, or duration increased by 60%. But you really want to go for damage, because you want to just keep it short and just to make them stumble. So damage by 40% is really good, and it makes up for the first one you missed. The last one is rank 6, and you get armor damage by 50% or shields and barrier damage. You should really go for shields and barrier. That's the most common thing you get when fighting enemies. You do get armor enemies occasionally, but shields and barriers are the most common. It's 2 different types of thing, and it increases by 50%, just the same as armor. So just pick that one, and that's a pretty good thing.
Moving on to the next powers, as you see, I did nothing for Carnage. Now, there's some really good reasons for that. Now, I feel that there's certain points that can be used for certain sort of other places, which will really benefit the Vorcha, which we will see later. As you see, I'm level 19, so I haven't got the final point, which will be needed for the fitness there. But let's get into Vorcha Re-Silence. Now, as you know from Vorcha Re-Silence, you have to do the first 3, so the first 3 would be the actual ability itself. The second one is weapon damage increased by 5%. The next one, power damage and force increased by 5%. So now let's move on to rank 4. The first one we have is weapon damage, or we can do damage and capacity. Now, for weapon damage, it's increased weapon damage by additional 7.5%. And for damage and capacity, what it does, increases power damage and force by an additional 10%, and increases weapon capacity bonus by 20%. So that's really good for your Vorcha if you really want to carry a really tough weapon, such as the shotgun, which you will need. You will need to use a shotgun for a Vorcha when you want to be really rushing. So it allows you to sort of take away that capacity points when you really do need them if you're using a heavy shotgun. And again, it increases the power damage, so it does increase the flamer quite a lot, so it does help when you're trying to repel them enemies, as Fergus did say. It does sort of take a bit of health off of them, which will benefit you when you want to go to slash them or shoot them in the face with a shotgun. So for rank 5, the next one we have is power damage, which increases power damage and force by 15%, or headshots, increases headshot damage by an additional 20%. Now, the reason I went for the headshots is because you're using a shotgun. When you're using a shotgun, you really want to make sure you aim for the head. So increasing that by 20% is pretty obvious. That's what you want to do. Especially, that's so useful against the Guardians. When you're using a shotgun against the Guardians, and you always want to aim for the head. So that's the best thing you can do when you're using a shotgun. So go for the headshot damage. Now, the final one we have is shotguns and assault rifles, and it reduces the weight of the shotgun and the assault rifle by an additional 20%, 25%. And the next one is, or you could go for, is weapon damage. This increases the weapon damage by an additional 10%. Now, the reason you don't want to go for the shotguns, and the assault rifles, because we did that in number 4, as you see here. We took it off on the damage and capacity, so that's what we did there. So we went for the weapon damage, is because, again, you really want to make sure you have a good shot with the shotgun. You want it to be the final shot that you put into the enemy. If you slash them, you want to have sort of a combo. You want to go for the slash, and then you want to get out the shotgun and finish them off with that shotgun. You want to make sure that happens, so increase the damage really does help.
The next one we've got is fitness, and for this one, do the first 3 as normal, and then when you get to rank 4, you want to improve your health and shields over melee. The reason for this is because the shields for the Vorcha are very low. The health is great, but you want to just get the shields up just a bit so you can survive in those big crowds. And then for rank 5, you want to do the increased melee damage by 75% for 30 seconds after an enemy is killed by heavy melee. You want to do this because you're going to be doing this a lot. You're going to kill a lot of enemies with heavy melee, and then you're going to be even stronger after you've done that for 30 seconds. So pick this one over the health. And for rank 6, we've got increased melee damage by 30% and increased weapon damage by 30% after an enemy is killed by heavy melee. So if you choose this one, you've got the 30% weapon damage after heavy melee on top of increased melee damage by 70% after heavy melee. So that's 2 things just for 1 kill, and that's really good. Also, it's really good for the shotgun. If you've just killed someone with a heavy melee and you use your shotgun, it's going to be increased by 30%, which is going to be really good for crowd control. And when you're right in there as you're a rushing character, which is you know, a Vorcha rush a lot into the crowd and stuff, it's really good for that. So you should pick these ranks.
Now finally moving on to sort of the customizable side of creating your character, the perfect Vorcha in our opinion, the Vorcha soldier anyway. The actual weapon that you're going to be using. Now as you see here, the gun that I have on this little table thing is the Wraith. Now the reason I'm using the Wraith is one of my favourite shotguns. It's your opinion what you use for the shotgun, but you want to make sure you have a pump action shotgun, because over like the semi-automatic ones that you can shoot loads of bullets and you don't need to keep reloading, I would suggest a pump action shotgun because it's going to increase the chances of killing the enemy really quickly because of the damage. As you see there, look at how high that damage is off of the Wraith. So talking about attachments now, the first one you see here is the shotgun smart choke. Now the reason I got this on, it increases the accuracy by 50%, well it does for me anyway because I've got it so many times, but overall it increases the accuracy of the shotgun when you shoot. Now the reason I have this on is because I want to make sure that I'm definitely going to be picking off the enemy with that kill. I don't want my scope to be really large, like when you the shot that you aim in. I don't want it to be really large. I want it to be rather small so I can see where I'm actually shooting and it gives me a precise shot. Now it is arguable that you can put the thermal clip on so it gives you more ammo, but to be honest you're never going to really need it because you're going to be running around the lot, meleeing a lot, so you're barely going to be using your gun apart from this sort of situations where you need to pull off that final shot, and that's the reason I got that on. Moving on with my second attachment, I have the shotgun blade attachment, and now this is really obvious why we have this on, again for the melee damage. Now we have put so much stuff on melee damage and we've kind of balanced it out with the health. We've got like pretty much unlimited health that speeds up in a second now, and we've got awesome melee bonuses that can really help us out. And now as you see, this attachment does, it increases melee damage by 17.5%, or it does for me anyway, so that is really useful just to kind of finish it off for the melee, so you can really stroke over that enemy and kill him instantly. So that's really awesome for the weapon sort of side, guys. To finish it off, I did add the Geth Plasma SMG if I did run out of ammo, but I don't know why I put that on. But if you want to add an SMG, it's very useful. You can if you need to, but I would suggest just running your pump action shotgun.
We're going to do a lot more of these videos with all the new characters. We're going to do just like this, but with every single character that came out with the Veteran Pack.
So I hope you did enjoy that, guys. That was a quick little summary of what we have to think of the Vorcha soldier. We've given you all the information that we can possibly give you, from the power upgrades to the weapon upgrades. It's simply amazing, this class. This is the first character that I've got from the new DLC, and hopefully we're going to get a lot more. As Fergus did say, we're going to try and get all the characters and give you all the information on how to make him the perfect character for when you start off, because I know how many people out there who want to find a good guide on how to make this character really good, so you don't muck it up for the first time, so you have it there ready. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy that, guys. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy that. Again, we will be bringing out the other characters soon when we do actually get them, when we get the footage for that. So I hope you did enjoy that, guys. My name is Dan. That's Fergus over there. So yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you later.